Now on Coast TV News.
Taros tent tussle. What ordinance changes Sussex County officials were looking at today that could affect the shelter for the homeless.
Plus, ICE spending swap. How Delaware Senator Chris Coons wants to redirect taxpayer money away from the Immigration Enforcement Agency.
It is a frigid, dry start. We're seeing some single-digit temperatures this morning, tracking a beautiful day ahead as we get back up into the 40s, even 50s by tomorrow. All eyes on the weekend. I'll have the latest on a potential major winter storm.
And Lewis Planning Partners, the leadership variety that hopes to collaborate on future planning for the city.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026.
And Grace, while we don't have the snow, the weather outside, you could call it frightful if we're just talking temperatures.
It's frightful for you, that's for sure. You don't like, Matt was just singing during commercial break, 75 and
sunny and 75. Joe Nichols, that's my song during the spring.
I think you're counting down until Chris tells you that.
Yeah, well, we are a long way away, Chris, from sunny and 75, although First Alert Chris Mastrobono in the Weather Center, we do have sunny skies today. At least we have that going for us, Chris.
We do. As soon as I know that when that first 75-degree day is coming, I will be sure to have Matt be the first one to know. As we take a live look in through Cambridge, 19 degrees. And yes, we are seeing some frigid temperatures this morning. Not much of a wind chill out there, kind of a reverse of what we had yesterday morning where we were dealing with those bitter wind chills. It's 9 degrees in Redden, 11 Bridgeville, 9 in Harrington. We're at 12 now in Georgetown. We're down to 19 in Rehoboth and 18 in Bethany Beach. We have calm winds, clear skies, perfect recipe to get those temperatures to fall through the overnight into the morning here. And we're having high pressure just push offshore. Now this Clipper system pushing across Illinois and Indiana, that's going to be swinging by our area overnight and could bring a brief shower while most of us are sound asleep. We are going to see a pretty sunny, seasonable day. Enjoy it, and even milder into tomorrow, and then all eyes on the weekend for that winter storm threat. We rise from the teens into the mid to upper 30s through the middle part of the day. We'll top out right around the lower 40s. A southerly wind will kick in with gusts up to near 30 miles an hour. I'll have the latest thinking on the winter storm of the weekend here in minutes.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour involves Taros Village. That is a tent community for the homeless off of Route 1 in Lewis. It's going before the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission today.
Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber is live in Georgetown, where the meeting will be held. Elisa, the organizers of Taros are looking to amend the ordinance they currently have with the county.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Since 2024, Taros Village has been providing shelter for people who need it from March 15th to December 1st. And during the season, Taros Village is full of tents and amenities for those who stay there. But when that season ends on December 1st, organizers say they have to pack everything up. On your screen right now is what Taros looks like during the season, and this is what it looks like right now, everything packed up. Today at the County Planning and Zoning meeting, organizers of the village are requesting a change to the current conditional use ordinance so that they can keep items here during the off-season. Taros Village says it has an agreement with the state to store items here, but they need to reach an agreement with the county. They say the goal of keeping items here permanently is to build up this area more. For example, install more durable tents to protect people staying here from the elements. And that planning and zoning meeting will take place this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Back to you.
Lisa Weber in Georgetown. Turning now to Lewis, and happening tonight, officials there are resuming work on the comprehensive plan. Planning Commission is looking at membership on a possible advisory strategic group. Among areas that are covered under the plan are housing and environmental protection. According to the city, it is required to prepare a comprehensive plan every 10 years by state law, and the next plan is expected to be finalized in the fall of 2027.
Also happening today, leaders in South Bethany are set to review a draft budget to fiscal year 2027. According to the agenda, the Budget and Finance Committee is expected to discuss the town's investment policy ahead of a look at the budget. Officials will gather this afternoon at 1 p.m. at Town Hall.
Today, Maryland Governor Wes Moore set to announce his budget proposal for fiscal year 2027. The state is currently facing an over $1 billion budget deficit. On Tuesday, he laid out a plan for over $73 million of economic development and community revitalization. And we previously reported that Governor Moore is proposing a record $10.2 billion of taxpayer money for Maryland's K-12 public schools as part of his fiscal year 2027 budget. Maryland's fiscal year begins on July 1st.
New this morning, a new bill from Delaware Senator Chris Coons would shift billions in federal funding away from immigration enforcement and into local police departments. According to Senator Coons and Nevada Senator Cortez Masto, the Public Safety Act would redirect nearly $75 billion in funding from immigration and customs enforcement, instead investing that money into local law enforcement programs nationwide. U.S. leaders say the bill would cut ICE's expanded budget by about 88%, while keeping the agency's regular funding in place for traditional enforcement immigration.
The new overnight, President Trump is in Davos, Switzerland. He's addressing the World Economic Forum, coming face to face with many of those European leaders frustrated by his push to take control of Greenland and tariff allies that are opposed.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us how the president addressed those tensions in a wide-ranging press briefing marking 1 year into his second term.
President Trump today addressing the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
This will be an interesting trip.
On his way after changing planes when a minor electrical issue forced Air Force One to turn around shortly after takeoff. The president heading into diplomatic turbulence over his push to take control of Greenland, a strategically important Danish territory that he argues is too vulnerable to threats from China and Russia.
How far are you willing to go to acquire Greenland?
You'll find out.
Many European leaders will be in Davos as they weigh countermeasures to President Trump's threatened tariffs on Denmark and 7 other allies that oppose his efforts to buy Greenland.
We have no interest in picking a fight, but we will hold our ground.
Among the European Union's tools to respond, what's known as the trade bazooka that could ban U.S. goods from European markets. President Trump saying in a new interview he would match any EU actions.
And it's going to go ricocheting backward, but we're not looking at that. We'll probably be able to work something out.
A trade war with the European Union, America's largest trading bloc, would have wide-ranging economic effects and likely price increases here at home when Americans are already feeling the pinch. All as the president defended the state of the economy 1 year into his second term.
Gasoline prices have come per gallon way down. When that happens, everything else comes down.
Also pointing to stock market record highs, though markets plunged Tuesday amid the trade tensions. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
New this morning, the Delaware State Fire Marshal will continue investigating the cause of this fire in Georgetown. According to the Georgetown Fire Company, firefighters battled a vehicle fire at the 16,000 block of Wilson Hill Road. This happened around Tuesday at 4:50 p.m. Officials say it took crews about an hour to put out the blaze that engulfed this camper in the surrounding woods.
Also this morning in Lewis, a community forum focusing on collaboration and future planning. The Cape Henlopen School District will take part in the city's first ever State of the Community Forum, and this is on Tuesday, January 27th. Superintendent Dr. Jenny Nauman will join Lewis Mayor Amy Marasco, Dr. Tam with BB Healthcare, and other community leaders. They're set to outline their 2026 priorities. The forum runs from 5 to 7 p.m. at Lewis Elementary School.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Coming up, new bill at Legislative Hall, how Delaware lawmakers say the proposed rule aims to make police interactions safer for people with certain disabilities.
Also, severe weather slams coast, how people are preparing for below freezing temperatures.
Still ahead, dune crossing coming down, why Denrex says the structure could actually harm local and migrating species. And we're activating our Chris Cam. That is First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. Boy, we got some big weather to tell you about in the upcoming days. He's working on it in the Weather Center, and we check in with Chris next.
Good Wednesday morning, Delmarva. We have some brutally cold temperatures on the peninsula this morning, and live in Lewis we are at 12 degrees, but we are in the single digits and teens further inland. 12 in Georgetown and Harrington. We are at 17 in Cambridge, and despite how cold it was yesterday morning, We're about 12 degrees colder in Salisbury than where we were just 24 hours ago. Now, high pressure has been over the area through the overnight. That high is going to continue to shift offshore and introduce more of a southerly wind throughout the afternoon. So we have mostly sunny skies. A really nice day as we thaw out after this frigid start, and a seasonably cool day with highs in the lower 40s. We're going to push the 50s tomorrow before another Arctic front pushes in Friday night, setting the stage for our potential major winter storm. I'll have the latest thinking on that storm here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. This concrete dune crossover built without state approval at Prime Hook Beach now has to come down. Denrick says 118-foot ramp violates beach protection rules and could harm local migrating species, including from traffic by vehicles and boats. The agency has ordered it to be removed within 15 days, and the state also wants the dune restored with sand grading and beach grass. If the property owner doesn't comply, Denrick could take legal action, but the owner does have the option to appeal within 20 days, which could lead to a public hearing.
Fresh Pond Trail and Bethany Beach will close to the public except for Sundays, and this is until January 31st. State officials say the closures are in place for the hunting season.
We have some cold temperatures. Dress warm, making your way out to school this morning. We are seeing temperatures generally right in the lower teens. Plenty of sunshine through the morning and afternoon as we get up into the lower 40s. I'll have our latest thinking on this potential high-impact winter storm Sunday through Monday after the break.
Time is 6:16, and we are giving you a live look at the early morning scene at the Roosevelt Inlet in Lewis. And Chris, very cold right now. I think we've established that, but we are getting a little break later on today.
Yeah, we're going to see a seasonable day. We're going to get back up into the 40s, so we're going to rebound pretty nicely after this frigid start. You can see the starry skies there in Cambridge. At 20 degrees there, a little milder along the water, but further inland, we're down to 9 degrees, and that's not a wind chill, that's an air temperature. 9 in Harrington, 12 in Georgetown, and we are at 11 in Long Neck. You can see the clear skies, calm winds, allowing for those temperatures to fall. We have high pressure shifting offshore, so that's going to bring more of a southerly wind today, and then this weak clipper is going to pass by later tonight, bringing a brief shower chance. Mostly sunny skies. We get those temperatures in the lower 40s, 43 Georgetown to 42 in Lewis. Now the winds will pick up through the afternoon, gusting to 30 miles an hour, and with the steady south wind through the overnight, it's going to prevent temperatures from falling all that much. So we go from the 40s this afternoon, only the low to mid 30s overnight with that shower chance as we go into the wee hours of Thursday morning. And then by Thursday afternoon, we're back up into the lower 50s, and then we see some changes as we go into Friday. So 53 into Thursday, mostly sunny skies, 41 as clouds begin to increase. An Arctic front's going to be pushing through Saturday, brutally cold, 22 wind chills, single digits across the area. So we have our major winter storm. The first scenario would bring that Arctic air south, high pressure to the north, and that big shield of snow pushes into the area, bringing some heavy snow. Scenario 2 would bring some mixing into the picture, and that's kind of a developing situation over the last few model runs. And then scenario 3, kind of waning off this scenario as the high pressure system suppresses the storm to the south. So the latest Euromodel shows that snow breaking out through daybreak Sunday, heavy at times through the morning. Now watch as this model brings the low pretty close to Delmarva. Not sure how far north this system's going to go and pulling in that warmer air. Then we change from snow to sleet and just raining at the coast, and then we go back to snow as that system pulls away. Now the GFS pretty much has the snow starting early Sunday morning, pretty much the same, but notice how the mix line doesn't push that further in, just at the beaches, and we stay pretty much all snow for most of Delmarva and points north and west. So our first call snow map brings 4 to 8 inches of snow from Lewis through Dagsboro, Ocean View down to Ocean City, Snow Hill down to the Chicotee with some mixing, and then 6 to 10 inches from Georgetown, Salisbury, down through Cambridge on points north and west. It's our first map. It's going to change here over the next few days. We have that yellow alert in play on Sunday for the snow, likely going to become a red alert here in the next few days. Snow lingering into Monday. We fall to 9 degrees by Tuesday morning. Matt.
We've been talking about this cold stretch that we're dealing with, and the Delaware Department of Health and Social Services is opening warming centers today from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. In Sussex County, it's at the Shipley State Service Center, Adams State Service Center, and Laurel State Service Center. In Kent County, you can go to the Williams State Service Center and Smyrna State Service Center. And if you're up in Newcastle County, They are at the Canby Park office, Claymont State Service Center, and Churchman's Corporate Center.
Looking across Delmarva, more warming centers open in Somerset County. They'll be open today, and according to officials, the Crisfield and Princess Anne public libraries are open from 10 a.m. to 6:45 p.m. for anyone who wants to get out of this bitter cold.
And salt is flying off the shelves ahead of the upcoming storm at the Best Ace Hardware in Lewis. And as a result, get this, the store is limiting ice melt to 6 bags per customer. CoastTV photojournalist Matt Hipsman shows us how people are preparing for the snow.
I was getting my snowblower ready, and it wouldn't start. So I went on YouTube and looked at some videos, and it said that it's probably the battery. I went on the internet and saw that Tom Best had the plug I needed, so I ran down here. And also got some ratchets for the toolkit to put the plug in.
Yeah, I got a pallet and a quarter left. Probably the most important thing to have for your steps and your pathways is salt, especially the jug. It's a lot easier, spreads easier. Best way to prepare for the storm coming is some people like to spray this down on their steps entering their house or their driveway. So it'll kind of melt and then help you prep to shovel while it's slipping right when you walk in.
Enjoy the snow. I love it. I'm always happy to see snow, but I like to be prepared for it.
And we will have more winter storm coverage in our shows on the Coast TV News app, coasttvnews.com, as well as our radio stations as we get closer to this weekend's storm.
More to come. New bill at Legislative Hall, the possible new option for Delawareans for driver's licenses and IDs. Don't go anywhere on Coast TV News today.
This just in, a new bill in Delaware aiming to improve safety for people with invisible disabilities during encounters with law enforcement.
According to officials, House Bill 280, it's known as Eric's ID law, would allow Delawareans with non-apparent disabilities to voluntarily display a small butterfly symbol on state-issued driver's licenses and ID cards.
The symbol is designed to help communicate a person's needs in situations where speaking may be difficult.
And the bill would also require the Division of Motor Vehicles to add a disability notation to state IDs and strengthen police training on how to recognize the symbol and safely interact with people who have non-apparent disabilities.
And for more information on the proposed legislation, you can head to our article right now on our website, coasttv.com.
Maryland's the first state to actually have a law like this in place. The state has been allowing the symbol on licenses and IDs. It gives those with hidden disabilities the option to add that butterfly symbol to their driver's license or ID at no cost. State officials say it is designed to help first responders recognize hidden disabilities and respond with greater understanding while protecting individual privacy.
Hope you're doing your best to stay warm this Wednesday morning. Taking a live look into Ocean View there, temperature 17 degrees. Now we're going to rise from the teens into the upper 30s through the morning here in Ocean City, Fenwick Island. Plenty of sunshine. Will likely top out right in the lower 40s along the coast into Lewis. Wall-to-wall sunshine. Southerly winds are going to kick in through the afternoon, gusting to near 30 miles an hour. We rise to 40 by around 4 o'clock in through Cambridge and Crisfield. So really nice afternoon considering the weather ahead. Kathy Dool, Milton, Delaware. Congratulations on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. We'll talk about more brutally cold air arriving this weekend, setting the stage for our potential major winter storm. I'll have more on that in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. After the break on Coast TV News today, Trump talks trade, the tensions between the commander-in-chief and some world leaders.
Also, Maryland gun laws, what was decided by an appeals court on Tuesday.
And Taros Village talks storage, what organizers are requesting for those in need. That is set for discussion among Sussex County leaders today. Coast TV News returns after the break.
Now on Coast TV News.
It is a frigid, dry start. We're seeing some single-digit temperatures this morning, tracking a beautiful day ahead as we get back up into the 40s, even 50s by tomorrow. All eyes on the weekend. I'll have the latest on a potential major winter storm.
Taros tent tussle, what ordinance changes Sussex County officials are looking at today that could affect the shelter for the homeless.
Plus, court confirms constraints. We look at the Tuesday federal ruling on one aspect of Maryland's gun laws.
And pot proximity proposal, how Delaware lawmakers are looking to align retail marijuana businesses closer to the state's liquor laws.
This is Coast TV News Today.
January 21st, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us today.
We just hit 6:29 a.m. on this Wednesday.
Yes, and every day we like to check the national holiday calendar just to see if there's anything fun coming up today. Today there actually was. Matt Pensick, it's Squirrel Appreciation Day.
So if you have that squirrel, appreciate your squirrel.
I said it to you. Matt started singing the iconic song from Phineas and Ferb, S-I-M-P, squirrels in my pants. I texted my grandfather. He loves his squirrels, but he hates them. He has built squirrel detection devices just to keep it away from his bird feeder. There's a lot to be thankful about for squirrels, and I know you love your Penn State squirrels. If anyone knows anything about them, they are.
There is, from a football standpoint, there's a rally squirrel. I don't know if you're aware.
Oh, yeah. What is that? Is that like a flying squirrel?
If Penn State's trailing in the game and the squirrel runs out in the field, they win the game. He's a rally squirrel. It happened once, trust me.
You are a wealth of knowledge, Matt Pensick. But aside from that, we were saying the squirrels are going to be active, especially this week. Coming into the snow, all the squirrels in the fall, they bury their acorns, and they're bringing them back out for this winter time, trying to get nice and warm and fed before this crazy storm. Yeah,
we're going to go to First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono in the Weather Center. We need some warmth today, Chris. We might get a little thawing out in the afternoon.
I'm going to do my best this afternoon. Good morning, Matt and Grace. We are seeing some really cold temperatures this morning, though. Now, not much of a wind chill. We've seen relatively calm winds out there, 17 right now in Ocean View, but further away from the coast, we're down to 9 in Harrington and Redden, 12, Georgetown, 10 in Delmar and Gumboro. So a very cold start to the day, and there's those calm winds across the region. We have had high pressure really parked over the region through the overnight, and now that's shifting offshore, and we're going to see more of a southerly wind. And we see some light snow, rain back off to the west. This is a weak clipper that's going to be pushing into our area through the overnight and could bring a brief shower chance. So we rise from the teens this morning, 35 by around midday. We'll top out right around the lower to mid 40s this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies. We'll have a nice southerly wind kick in, gusting 25 to 30 miles an hour. Coming up, we will talk about 50s making a brief cameo appearance tomorrow before more Arctic air over the weekend, and I'll have the latest on our potential major winter storm here in minutes.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this half hour, that big winter storm that's taking shape that we've been talking about, is expected to be the most extreme winter storm so far this season, set to bring the season's coldest air to date. Reed Binion now showing us how it comes as many communities are already getting lashed by severe winter weather.
I wish it would stop. I think we're pushing 20 inches, 21, 22 inches.
Residents in upstate New York digging out after a lake-effect snowstorm dumped more than 20 inches amid brutal winter weather.
We're going to get it for 24 hours straight for sure.
That lake-effect snow causing whiteout conditions. Authorities responding to multiple crashes on Interstate 90 involving roughly 60 vehicles over a 6-mile stretch of highway. Officials said there were multiple jackknife tractor trailers as well as passenger vehicles that were struck. Authorities had to divert traffic and shut down all westbound lanes of the interstate. The brutal winter weather is set to get worse for many, with the most extreme winter storm so far this season forecast to slam the eastern half of the U.S. with damaging ice and heavy snow. The storm, fueled by a blast of Arctic air, is set to hit the Midwest and Plains Thursday into Friday, then spread into the south and east this weekend. Communities in the storm's path are bracing for snow, sleet, and freezing rain, a dangerous wintry mix that could stretch more than 1,000 miles from Oklahoma and northern Texas to North Carolina and Virginia by Saturday night.
Salt shipment is very important. We were starting to get low from all we've had, and there are so many different places is using salt right now, especially up north. It's getting kind of hard to get.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Happening today, Taros Village, which is a tent community off of Route 1, is going before the County Planning and Zoning Commission today.
And our Lisa Weber live in Georgetown. That's where the meeting is taking place, as the organizers of Taros are looking to amend the ordinance they currently have with the county. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Since 2024, Taros Village has been providing shelter for those who need it from March 15th through December 1st. But at the end of the season, after December 1st, organizers of Taros say that they have to pack everything up in that area and put it away for the season. On your screen right now is what that area looks like during the season. All the tents and amenities are out for people to use them, but this is what the area looks like right now, everything packed up. Today at the County Planning and Zoning meeting, organizers of the village are requesting a change to the current conditional use ordinance so that they can keep items here during the off-season. Taros Village says it has an agreement with the state to store items here, but they need to reach an agreement with the county. They say the goal of keeping items here permanently is to build up this area more. For example, install more durable tents that protect people staying here from the elements. We spoke with the director of governance for Code Purple and Taros Village about some of the enhancements they would like to do here once the ordinance is hopefully changed.
We also brought in water last year, which was really helpful because we had done bottled water drives to provide that, but now we have on-site water amenities, and we intend to bring in electricity so that we can charge devices for our guests, and importantly, a number of our guests are on medical insulin, and that requires cooling, especially during the summer.
And that meeting will take place this afternoon at 3 o'clock in Georgetown. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa Weber in Georgetown. In Maryland, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled on Tuesday that the state's law prohibiting guns in sensitive places is largely constitutional. Those sensitive places include healthcare facilities and schools. Also, it bans concealed guns within 1,000 feet of a public demonstration. The decision comes after the Maryland State Rifle and Pistol Association and an individual handgun owner asked the U.S. Court of Appeals to review a trial court decision.
And here's what Governor Wes Moore stated Tuesday night after the ruling. The Fourth Circuit affirmed what common sense in our Constitution already makes clear: we can protect the Second Amendment while also protecting Marylanders. We have not heard a response yet from the Maryland State Rifle and Pistol Association.
Today, Governor Wes Moore set to announce his budget proposals for fiscal year 2027. The state currently facing an over $1 billion budget deficit. And on Tuesday, he laid out the plan for over $73 million for economic development and community revitalization. We previously reported that Wes Moore is proposing a record $10.2 billion of taxpayer money for Maryland's K-12 public schools as part of his fiscal year 2027 budget. Maryland's fiscal year will begin on July 1st.
Happening tonight, Lewis officials are resuming work on its comprehensive plan. The Planning Commission is looking at membership on a possible advisory strategic group. Among areas that are covered under the plan are housing and environmental protection. According to the city, it is required to prepare a comprehensive plan every 10 years by state law, and the next plan is expected to be finalized in the fall of 2027.
New this morning in Lewis, a new community forum is focused on collaborating in future planning. The Cape Henlopen School District will take part in the city's first ever State of the Community Forum on Tuesday, January 27th. Superintendent Dr. Jenny Nauman will join Lewis Mayor Amy Marasco, as well as Dr. Tam with BB Healthcare and other community leaders who are set to outline their 2026 priorities. The forum will run from 5 to 7 at the Lewis Elementary School.
Delaware General Assembly is now considering a bill that would make marijuana licensing work more like the state's liquor laws. It's specifically on how close marijuana businesses can be to each other. This is for retail establishments. It's not for producers and wholesalers. House Bill 271 is assigned to the Economic Development, Banking, Insurance, and Commerce Committee.
New this morning, the Delaware State Fire Marshal will continue investigating the cause of this fire in Georgetown. According to the Georgetown Fire Company, firefighters battled a vehicle fire at the 16,000 block of Wilson Hill Road. This happened Tuesday around 4:50 p.m. and officials say it took crews about an hour to put out the blaze at that engulfed camper as well as the surrounding woods.
Developing news involving ICE. A new bill from Delaware Senator Chris Coons would shift billions in federal funding away from immigration enforcement and into local police departments. According to Senator Coons and Nevada Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, the Public Safety Act would redirect nearly $75 billion in funding from immigration and customs enforcement, instead investing that money into local law enforcement programs nationwide. The bill would cut ICE's expanded budget by about 88% while keeping the agency's regular funding in place for traditional immigration enforcement.
New overnight, President Trump is in Davos, Switzerland today for the World Economic Forum, where he is expected to outline his vision for American global leadership. The White House says his remarks will focus on U.S. economic strength and national influence, including renewed comments about acquiring Greenland, language that has drawn concern from Denmark, NATO allies, and other international parties.
We have no interest in picking a fight, but we will hold our ground.
Organizers say Trump will lead the largest U.S. delegation at the forum, meeting with business leaders and head of states.
And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, deep freeze on Delmarva. Where to go if you're in a need for a place to stay warm across the peninsula.
Also, wrestling match preview. Two of the best in Delaware going head-to-head tonight, and DSN looks at division rivals Laurel and Woodbridge. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
We salute Matthew Reed, Fire Chief of the Seaford Volunteer Fire Department, who has answered the call to serve since joining as a junior member in 2008. Through steady leadership, he rose through the ranks, earning the trust of his department and community. As a Delaware State Fire School instructor and a highly certified firefighter and rescue technician, he represents the very best of service, skill, and commitment.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Boy, do we have some cold temperatures greeting out the door this morning. Taking a live look in through Laurel, 14 degrees there with those clear skies. Sunrise at 7:15 this morning. We're at 12 in Georgetown, 20 Bethany Beach, 13 in Salisbury. And believe it or not, despite as cold as it was yesterday, we're running about 11 degrees cooler in Georgetown than just 24 hours ago. Now we have high pressure shifting offshore. That's going to open the door for more of a southerly wind flow today, and that's going to help bump us up to 43. And then we're going to continue to trend milder into Thursday, 53, before another Arctic front comes in Friday night. Brutally cold air pushes into the peninsula, 22 by Saturday, and that sets the stage for our impending winter storm Sunday. You can get your latest forecast by calling our First Alert weather phone. I'll have the latest on that winter storm here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. On Tuesday, the Delaware Senate confirmed 3 Justice of Peace nominations for Sussex County. There are 3. That's Rodney Biambi, Dawn Hopkins, and Cramel Mumford. All 3 of those received unanimous votes by senators.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
On the wrestling mats, there's a massive match in the Henlopen tonight. Laurel hosts Woodbridge live on DSN at 6:30. The Blue Raiders enter a perfect 10-0 with hopes of a win against the Bulldogs for the first time in half a decade. You have to go all the way back to the spring of 2021 for the last time the Blue Raiders upset the Bulldogs. But hey, Woodbridge looking as good as they possibly can going into tonight's match. They picked up 2 more wins last week, albeit both of them were at home, but also both were very comfortable wins against both Seaford and Delmar. But you know what's better than dominating in lower Delaware? Going up to Middletown like Laurel did last weekend, competing in the Canal Classic tournament and placing second out of 16 teams. It was a phenomenal weekend for Laurel. Their veteran wrestler Kenyon Littleton eclipsed the 100 wins mark in his high school career. Meanwhile, their freshman phenom, the 113-pounder Nathan Moore, he placed first in his weight class. This was somebody who was competing in the state finals last year as an 8th grader. We're excited to see him duke it out tonight with Woodbridge at 6:30. You can catch it live on DSN. It's must watch in the Henlopen. Have a great day, Delmarva.
And coming up tonight on DSN, as you just saw, Woodbridge facing Laurel on the wrestling mat, and then you can catch the final score at 10:30. Along with that, we got a slew of other wrestling matches you can watch today on DSN+. Starting at 5 p.m., Bennett visiting Kent Island. At 6, Sussex Tech hosts Smyrna, and St. Mark's takes on Middletown.
Rough week? Cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign up to get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Growth on the coast. We know it's a big issue. We have growing pains because Everyone wants to live here, but it comes at a cost. Roads, infrastructure development, a loss of open space, and all that creates conflict and concerns.
CoastTV News has investigated all the deep-seated issues that brought us to where we are today. On February 4th at 7 p.m., join us for a 1-hour special to help you understand the price of paradise, growth on the coast. And here's a look at what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you're having a good day so far here along coastal Delmarva. And if you join us today at 4 for some Coast Life, here is what's coming your way. Ladies of Long Neck, it is important to take care of your health. We're going to be chatting with our friends from BB Healthcare. Also, we know the Schaefer Family Foundation loves to give back to first responders. We're going to see what they are up to as well. And we're going to be recapping yesterday's great debate. We were talking fries and what is the best dipping sauce. We're going to hear from you and settle our great debate today at 4. Where all of that and more is coming at you with Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Well, grab the warmest coat in your closet this morning. Temperatures are in the single digits and teens. Plenty of sunshine expected through the morning and through the day today. Seasonable. We get back up into the 40s. Trends milder into Thursday. Before we talk some snow and some brutally cold weather over the weekend, I'll have the latest after the break.
The time is now 6:49 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Cambridge. No sunrise in this camera view, Chris, but we got a nice view of the water. That's a pretty nice way to wake up.
Yeah, that water looks like glass there.
Yeah.
And even behind me here in Ocean View, you can see some of the ice there on the water as well. Winds really calm this morning, allowing for those temperatures to fall with the clear skies. We're at 16 in Ocean View, 9 in Harrington. We're at 12 in Georgetown and 11 in Millsboro. Calm winds have been with us throughout the morning so far, and the winds will pick up out of the south as this area of low pressure continues to push offshore. This weak Clipper system producing a little light snow there across the northern Great Lakes, and some mix and rain to the south will push through our area, bringing us a brief shower chance mainly overnight. Wall-to-wall sunshine for our Wednesday. Temperatures getting up to around the lower to mid 40s, average high 45, so a seasonably cool day. There's those southerly winds gusting to 30 miles an hour, and with the southerly wind continuing into the overnight, temperatures aren't going to fall off all that much, as well as with that Clipper system, we'll have a few clouds that will begin to increase through the overnight. You see that light shower opportunity around 3 o'clock in the morning, not going to amount to all that much. And then by tomorrow afternoon, a really nice day. We're going to get up into the low 50s under mostly sunny skies. And then things begin to change as we roll into the day on Friday. Clouds will begin to increase ahead of a cold front. Could see a late snow shower Friday. Other than that, we stay pretty dry and then turn brutally cold into Saturday. 22 wind chills in the single digits, and then we watch our winter storm. All eyes on how this storm will develop and track into our area. We have Arctic high pressure to the north. We have a huge area of precipitation that's going to be forming with snow, ice, and rain to the south. Now, we are beginning to see the potential that we could see some mixing at the coast, which could limit some of the snowfall totals there. You could see the snow beginning Sunday morning, heavy at times. Now, that warmer air tries to work into the region, and this is the Euro model, and that snow continues into the day on Monday. And then here's the American model showing that mixed line not making it that further inland, just primarily at the beaches, changing that snow over to a period of sleet and freezing rain, and then that snow continues into Monday. So an early first call snow map here shows 4 to 8 inches, Lewis through Rehoboth down to Bethany and Ocean City with some mixing, and then 6 to 10 inches from about 113 on points west. We have the yellow alert in play for the threat of snow. Continuing into Monday, brutally cold air arrives right behind the snow with temperatures falling to 9 degrees by Tuesday morning. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And speaking of that cold weather, today warming centers in Delaware are opening their doors to those in need. The Department of Health and Social Services says there are 8 warming stations across all 3 counties to provide people temporary relief from the cold during the day. These stations are open to anyone with no pre-registration required. The facilities will also provide essentials like blankets, food, and drinks. Officials say those centers can also connect visitors with additional services and support.
A lot of the Code Purple shelters are only available in the evenings. So during the day, all those people have to go somewhere, right? So we just want to be there so that they can get refuge from the cold air.
And these centers are open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And we'll have more winter storm coverage in our shows on the Coast TV News app, coasttvnews.com, and on our radio stations as we get closer to this weekend.
Due to those cold temperatures and increased energy usage, Berlin officials are asking people to help conserve power. Their ideal time is today from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Town leaders say to avoid using large appliances. They say that's dishwashers, laundry equipment, and also to lower your thermostat, turn off lights when they're not in use, and to charge your devices outside of that time frame. And the time is now 6:53 a.m. Matt Pensick, it is time to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Look at this cat here. Very tired, just as tired, I think, as when we wake up, Grace. On your screen, we got Sam. You can see they caught Sam in mid-yawn. Clearly not ready for the morning just yet. Sam, I feel you.
I was going to say, Matt, that seems like a pretty accurate description of you before you have your morning coffee. Or your second coffee, maybe even your third if you have a later day.
Just I need that coffee coming, or I might look like Sam there. Got to appreciate Margie and Lewis for sending us this adorable picture of Sam.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos. Tell us what makes them so special. If you take a look at your screen now.
Scan that QR code top center. Get your friends to us. And then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. One final check with First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono, and we're getting a bit of a warm-up over the next couple of days.
Yeah, enjoy today. After this cold start, we're going to get up into the lower to mid 40s. By tomorrow, we're going to be in the lower to mid 50s. Arctic front comes through Friday into Saturday. Could see a late snow shower Friday, but our main focus is the threat of a major winter storm arriving early Sunday morning through Monday. Could see substantial snowfall across the area, and we stay very cold behind that storm system.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
And then we'll be right back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Wednesday morning, everybody.